Hello everybody and welcome to Ballyhonus for this intermediate county final here, and a nice dry evening now after all the rain, the blue sky. We're ready for the throw-in. Your referee today is Seamus Barrett, and Charlestown are in the green and white. They're playing from left to right. Claremorris are in the navy and the blue, sky blue jerseys. The throw-in, the game is on. The ball is knocked down, it's been picked up there by Burns to Tommy Ward. Out the far side of the field on challenge there on Michael Burns, and John Casey has the free. And the referee is having a chat there with Johnny Commons. And Johnny's name has been taken, and Colin Harkin will take this free now for Charlestown. They were beaten in the county final last year by Knockmore by a late Warwick Brogan goal. They're back today in this intermediate final because they were relegated last year from the senior league. Colin Harkin takes a good ball in towards the Claremorris goal. It looks a good one, and it's over the bar for the first score of the game. Scored by Colin Harkin, centre half back, a minor of 91, and Mayo minor and under 21 player. Colin got his name on the score sheet after about 30 seconds. The pitch is heavy, and you can see the water rising there from the kick out from Coleman Ward. The ball being picked up by Johnny Commons, a low ball up towards Colin Harkin. He's all alone. He's been challenged there. And the ball has got down there towards Sean Higgins. Sean is on the run. Loses the ball, knocks it back towards Tommy Ward. Tommy towards Dennis Kearney. Dennis left-footed in towards the goal. Back there is Mick Walsh, the former Mayo minor. Leaves it to his goalie, Coleman Ward. Being challenged by Kenny Riley. Coleman trying to come out. Gives it in towards Seamus Riley, but it's lost, and Gallagher gets it back. It comes back to Tommy Ward. Tommy looks up. Then left-footed shot is half blocked. Comes towards Higgins. It's knocked away from him by Kevin Byrne. Kevin goes out and challenges Michael Burns in the back, and it's a free into Charlestown. And Charlestown doing the pressing. Michael Burns is on the ground. And Colin Harkin once again will move up and take this free. A difficult angle. It's about 20 metres out. It's about 10 metres in from the far sideline. The wind is blowing with the Charlestown in the first half. Colin comes now, kicks it in right footed in towards the goal. That's a wonderful point from Colin Harkin once again. From the square in Charlestown, Colin put that one over the bar. And Charlestown look like a team that means business. Coleman Ward down here now. Coleman comes and kicks the ball now towards the far side of the field. Johnny Commons is under it. Gets it at the second attempt. Being challenged by Dennis Kearney. Being fouled by Dennis. Takes it quickly into the corner to Joe Gorham. On the run is Brendan French. It's still French. He loses the ball. Back there is Stephen Healy. It's knocked inside. Comes down and is knocked away off the toe by Robert O'Connell. A good knocked away off the incoming forward Robert O'Connell got his boot to it, put it out off the Claremorris forward running in. It's Eddie Scanlon with the kick out, his first kick out for Charlestown. It comes to Joe Gorham, being challenged there by Robert O'Connell. Joe gets it in to French. Brendan tries to come inside. Tom Colleran is still French. He's adjudged to have held onto the ball too long, and it's a free out. Not met with the approval of the Claremorris supporters in the stand on the far side of the field, but the referee had no hesitation. Ball being taken by Robert, a high ball up in the air towards Kenny Riley. It'll hop over Kenny's head, and it comes on towards Henry Honeyman. Henry back to the corner towards Kenny Riley. Kenny Riley is shot in and wide. Kenny Riley had a chance, the county player there. Should have put that one over the bar. And it's Coleman Coleman Ward kicks it high towards Commons and it's knocked down there. Comes towards Henry Honeyman, and Henry judged to have been fouled. It comes towards, well, the referee calls back the play and he has a word with Henry Honeyman. He's not booking him or anything, he told him take it easy. Well, he seemed to have booked him. It's taken out there, the far side of the field. It comes towards John Casey. Casey low into the middle. John Morley is there, gets it, but it comes back to Moran. Moran is shot over his head, high in towards the goal, but it'll tail off and it goes wide. Coleman Ward with the kick out this far side of the field this time. Comes down there towards Joe Slattery. Joe's close to the sideline, tries to burst by his man, Sean Higgins, but he's fouled. Joe will take this free himself. Out of the hand, low up the far side of the field towards the James Kane, but he's beaten there. The ball got by Colin Harkin. High ball down towards Rory Charles. Rory lets it off his chest. He's been challenged by Henry Honeyman, being fouled by Henry. Taken quickly, gives it in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, and Brendan being challenged, his thigh heavily strapped. High ball in there to the corner towards from Kevin Rain, but back there is the captain Healy, Stephen, but Anthony Joyce beats him to it. It goes across the goal, down in front of the goal, a shot, the ball is in the net for Claremorris. Brendan French the scorer. A good goal from French. The ball came across there. Brendan French stuck it into the corner of the net like a veteran. He's only 18, but he put it into the net with authority to put Claremorris ahead by 1 goal to 2 points. The ball by Johnny Commons. Johnny towed a hand once. Tries to come inside Michael Burns. Back to the John Commons out the far side of the field, out towards Joe Gorham, being challenged by Colran. Still Joe, fisted across to French. French has got the centre half foul on his wrist. Boyle, Aidan Boyle, his shot is blocked. Robert O'Connell has it, being challenged, being fouled by Aidan Boyle. Taken quickly by Robert, out to Dennis Carney. Dennis being challenged there by James Keane, being fouled by James. Dennis wants to take it quickly. Dennis high in towards Kenny Riley, off his chest. Kenny comes out. He's been beaten there by Johnny Commons, who seemed to touch it on the ground, but he gets away with it. It goes back towards Tom Colleran and Boyle, Aidan Boyle. Tom Colleran gets it to John Casey. John fists it out to Dennis, and Dennis low left-footed shot goes out there towards John Morley, and it's being picked up by James Kane. James gives it into Joe Gorham, and Joe, a former Culture player, who loses the ball there to John Casey, who's fouled. Takes it quickly, gives it to Michael Burns. Charlestown playing with whatever wind is in this first half. Gives it in towards Alan Moran. Alan turns in, gives a long ball in towards Coleman Ward. Coleman is out, fisted out to Joe Slattery. Slattery having difficulty, it goes away to Michael Burns. Michael, somebody says he's only got the left, back to Higgins. Higgins into Kenny Riley. Kenny tries to burst by John Morley, but he's fouled by John, and Kenny has the free. Colin Harkin will make that journey up once again. Colin Harkin with this free now. It's about 30 metres out from the Claremorris goal. Claremorris lead by 1 goal to Charlestown's 2 points. And Colin, this should be a fairly easy task for him. Colin kicks it in. Colin kicks it over the bar for his 3rd point of the game and Charlestown's 3rd. A young Charlestown team who were relegated last year after putting up such a fine show in the county final. They beat Claremorris last year in the county semi-final here in Ballyhonus. They have never met before in the championship final. Neither of them have ever won the intermediate title. So history will be made today as Coleman Ward comes and kicks this ball towards Johnny Commons and Michael Burns. Burns fists it down. It comes towards Honeyman. Honeyman is in front of Rory Slattery. Comes to Dennis Kearney, and Dennis bursts by his man back to Morton. Allen looks to the far side of the field but loses the ball. It's been taken there by the Anthony Joyce. Gives it out the far side of the field towards Aidan Boyle. Aidan has it. Fists it out towards the far side to French. French has got Vincey Joyce. A low ball up to Joe Gorham. And Joe out about 45 metres out to French. French is on the run. He's in front of the goal. He's being challenged by Healy. It's still French. He loses the ball to Robert Casey. The ball has got in. It's gone wide by Aidan O'Boyle, and a great chance there. Eddie Scanlon down here on our left with his free. The breeze freshening up a bit. Eddie comes now, kicks it right footed towards Dennis Kearney. Breaks there towards Higgins, but Joe Slattery has it. He's being challenged by Dennis Kearney. He's been fouled by Dennis, and the referee will have a word with Dennis. The crowd's reaction on the far side of the field said that Dennis went in hard, and the referee has a word with him. Johnny Commons, a good ball into the corner towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. Joe Gorham has it. Joe looking for somebody to kick it to. Has a shot. He sends it wide.
Say that again.
Colin Harkin. Harkin gives it back to Colin. Colin back to the corner man Kevin James Durkin. A high ball. He was only a sub last year. It goes to John Morley. Fists it towards Vincey Jordan. Jordan being knocked off the ball by Anthony Joyce. But back there is Michael Burns. He's got a left-footed player. He gives a loose ball out here. And it's Ring with it, Kevin Ring, but the ball has gone out over the line. The linesman will throw the ball in here between Johnny Commons and Michael Burns. Johnny gets it. Burst by Dennis Kearney and Healy. Gets it back towards Ring, onto Joyce across the middle to O'Boyle to Vincey Jordan, in towards the goal and over the bar from Jordan. And the centre half backs on both teams are certainly playing a big part in the scoring so far. Colin Harkin has got 3 points for Charlestown, and now Vincey Joyce has got 1 for Claremorris. The referee comes down here. We'll ask the spectator, the subs to.
A linesman here who's won a job. I don't want any of you ever out here again. Okay.
Claremorris 1-1. Charlestown 3 points.
I don't want that to happen again.
Eddie Scanlon comes and kicks the ball. After that little bit of a hold up with Seamus Barrett, telling the subs here on the Claremorris bench to get back to the line. Is taken by Alan Morton, far side of the field. It goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Claremorris, and Mick Walsh will take it. Mick, a high ball up towards Dennis Kearney. Dennis knocks it down. Goes out off the Claremorris player. Out over the line. It's a line ball to Charlestown. John Casey will take it. John, another one of those minors of 91. A huge ball in towards the Kenny Riley. Kenny has it. Difficulty holding on to it. Chips a neat ball off the post and wide. Well, it's off the post and over the bar. It's off the post and over the bar. Kenny Riley has tied the scores at 4 points to 1-1. Coleman Ward comes and kicks this ball right footed towards the centre. Dennis Carney is under it, knocks it down to Burns, a low ball towards Kenny Riley. Kenny looks out the far side of the field, back to Burns, and this man is a good shot. Went to solo there, but he lost his footing in the soft conditions, and the ball is taken out by Vincey Jordan in towards Tom Collar, and he's being challenged there by Aidan Boyd to Dennis Carney. And Dennis, a huge ball up towards Burns. It's knocked down there towards John Morley, big and strong player, out towards James Keane. James being challenged by Ward. Tommy, it's still James, a low ball in towards Joe Gorham. Joe knocks it inside, but it's a free in. There was a foul there on Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan carrying a heavy bandaged thigh. Very doubtful for today's game. Son of the manager and coach, Billy, the former Gary Moore player, and Billy living now on the Ball Road, Claremorris, and coaching the Claremorris team. His son Brendan now will take this free. It's outside the 20-metre line, a left-footed shot. It goes off the post, it comes down towards Casey, across his own goal, fisted out to Tom Colran. Tom left-footed out the far side of the field. It will come towards James Kane, but James lets it out. He will take the line ball, takes it quickly, in towards Brendan French, being challenged by Tom Colran. Loses the ball to Tom, but the ball is knocked away from him. It comes to Vincent Joyce. Vincent is fouled, and Vincent Joyce is certainly playing a very attacking centre-half role for Claremorris in the first 10 or 15 minutes. French gets it in towards Dennis Carney. Dennis kicks it out towards Higgins. Being challenged by Slattery. His kick is blocked down. Two Charlestown men there. One of them is Tommy Ward. Tommy to Higgins. Lofts a high ball towards Kenny Riley and John Morley. Out to Kevin Byrne. Kevin fists it. Out there to Joe Slattery. Comes towards Anthony Boyle. A long ball into Stephen Healy, the captain of the team. And Stephen is on a solo run. He's being challenged by Anthony Joyce, being fouled by Anthony, and a free to Charlestown as the breeze freshens. Gives a good ball out towards Kenneth Riley. Kenneth being followed by Kevin Byrne. The water rises out there as Kenny gives a good ball into Higgins in front of the goal. He's got Slattery with them. Higgins is shot. Higgins a point. And a good point from Sean Higgins there to put Charlestown a point in front, 5 points to 1-1. And with the breeze freshening, you'd need to be a couple of scores up at half time. Both teams very young and eager. We've got about 20 minutes gone in the first half. Coleman Ward with this free out now. It comes towards the centre of the field, taken down by James Keane. James fisted out towards Slattery. Slattery kicks it in towards Tom Colran. And back there is Colin Harkin. He's being challenged by Joe Gorham. And Joe plays a bit of rugby as well, and he went in hard there on Tom Colran. Colin Harkin will take it towards Kenneth Riley. Kenneth out in front of John Morley. Out towards Alan Moran, and more to Gallagher. Back towards Burns. Burns tries to come inside Johnny Commons. It's still Burns. He's being challenged. He's been fouled by Rory Charles.
Colin, take it.
A free to Charlestown.
All right, leave it, Colin, leave it.
And well, Michael Burns was going to take it, and Colin Harkin made a move, and well, Michael is going to have a shot now himself. It's a good position for a left-footed kicker. Down here on our right, the sun shines. Michael kicks it in. It goes off the Claremorris man's hand. He was judged to have been standing too close. Johnny Commons, and the referee has brought the ball forward. Better position for Michael Burns now. The ball was going wide if it hadn't been stopped by the Claremorris man, but He didn't know that, as Michael Burns now comes left-footed, chips it in, chips it over the bar for his first score. And Charlestown 6 points to 1-1. And no matter who wins today, there'll be a new name on the James Sweeney Memorial Trophy. The crowd still coming in. The bright evening now and the sunshine after a morning of torrential rain all over Mayo, as Coleman Ward comes and kicks the ball towards Michael Burns, who knocks it down. Comes to Sean Higgins. Sean looks for Dennis Carney. Dennis is left-footed in towards Mick Walsh, and Mick is all alone at the moment. He gives it out the far side to Vincey Jordan, on towards Kevin Byrne. And Kevin right-footed up towards Sean Healy, but he leaves it to Colin Harkin. And Colin brings it up to the halfway line. It's still Harkin. He's 60 metres out from the Claremorris goal. He ships a heavy challenge there from Keane. Back to Burns. Burns tries to come inside Johnny Commons. Back towards Dennis Carney. Dennis to high ball in, but it tails off to the left and wide. The manager of the Charlestown team here, John Carney, having words of advice there for Colin Harkin, telling him not to go too far up the field, to let the ball do the work. Coleman Ward towards Dennis Carney, misjudges the flight of the ball to James, gives it, James King picks it up. Vincey Joyce has fouled, he takes it, gained a good bit of ground there, comes towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, and Brendan start to Anthony Joyce to Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan is on the run, he's being challenged by Kevin James Durkin, he's been fouled by Kevin, and it's a free in, and this was close to the penalty spot. Anthony Joyce picked up the ball and gave it to Brendan, and they're so much alike, both players, and Johnny Commons will take this free now. And Johnny, the former Mayo minor of 85, comes, kicks it right-footed, kicks it in, kicks it over the bar to narrow the gap down to just 1 point. 1-2 for Claremorris, 6 points for Charlestown. And there's 5 minutes left in this first half as Eddie Scanlon kicks it low towards Robert O'Connell, and Robert high in towards John Morley, and John out in front of Kenny Riley, gives out a loose ball there, but James Keane picks it up, turns inside Dennis Carney. Still James Keane with 4 minutes left in this half. A high ball in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan down to Joe Gorham. He's got Joyce running with them. A shot from Joyce, a point from Anthony Joyce, and the sides are level in this intermediate county final here in Ballyhonus. A good score from Anthony Joyce there in this very entertaining county final, despite the underfoot conditions. The crowd still coming in. Eddie Scanlon with this kick out towards Dennis Carney, brings it down but loses it, picks it up, the loose ball himself, gives it out to Sean Higgins. Higgins has been challenged by followed by James Keane. It's still Higgins. Higgins kicks the ball in, but Coleman Ward is out. He loses the ball. He's been challenged by Alan Morton. Kevin Byrne is there. He picks it up, and Kevin won't be beaten in that situation. Gives it out towards Slattery. Back to Byrne. Byrne, left-footed, high, but only as far as Sean Higgins. He was all alone seconds ago. Sean has it. On to Henry Honeyman. Henry picks it up. Gives it back to his captain, Sean Healy. Sean Healy steps inside. Back towards Henry Honeyman. Henry, a left-footed shot in. It's a great score by Henry Honeyman. Off the post, over the bar. It was an adventurous shot, but Henry got his power behind it and put it over as the breeze freshens here. Coleman Ward, a young keeper, tall in the mould of the former Claremorris player Joe Cuddy. High towards Joe Charles, taken down by Higgins. There towards Alan Moore, into the corner towards Henry Honeyman, but Rory Charles beats him this time. Comes down towards Dennis Carney, high in the air from Dennis, down to Kenny Riley, back to Dennis. Dennis is on the run, back towards Honeyman. Honeyman, another left-footed shot, a wonderful shot by Honeyman, and a wonderful point by Honeyman. Henry Honeyman, another minor star of 91, has got his name on the score sheet. And certainly Henry has stamped his class on this game so far with 2 great points in the last minute or so. Coleman Ward once again towards the far side of the field towards Johnny Commons, and Michael Burns knocks it down. James Keane picks up the loose ball, gives it out towards Brendan French, and Brendan causing the Charlestown defence a lot of difficulty over there. Down Kevin Byrne low, Michael Byrne picks it up, being challenged by French, and the youngster's name will be taken by the referee Seamus Barrett from Guy Sala down in Kiltane. Michael Burns none the worse of that challenge, but Alan Moran on the far side of the field now, and Seamus Gallagher. Michael Burns will take this free, he will take it left-footed from about 68 metres out. Low in towards Joyce. Kick out this side of the field towards Healy, the captain, and Healy out to Dennis Kearney, and Dennis stamping his name on the game to Kenny Riley. Kenny gives the ball out to Michael Burns, a good position for a left-footed kicker. Michael swings that left foot in, the crowd like it. The umpires raise their hands and the crowd is over the bar. Michael Burns has now got his name on the score sheet twice with 2 points. You could know by the reaction of the crowd in the stand that the ball looked good. It's 9 points to 1-3. We're approaching half-time. And Coleman takes it out the far side towards Johnny Commons, who lost sight of the ball for a second there, but Dennis Kearney, Dennis kept his eye on it. Gives it back to Tommy Ward, back to Stephen Healy. A neat little chip towards Kenny Riley, back to Stephen Healy. He's got John Casey running at speed. Casey is 20 metres out, it's still Casey a shot. Casey a point. A wonderful run by John Casey. He put the ball over the bar, he put it over with authority, and the youngster showed the class of a veteran there with a mighty point on the run, and he could have gone a little bit further and maybe stuck it under the bar. He's satisfied with a point, and it's a wonderful score just before half time as Charlestown lead by 10 points to 1-3, and in those conditions 10 points is a very credible score indeed. Coleman Ward high towards Dennis Kearney, knocks it down. It comes to Vincent Joyce. Vincent out to Brendan French. Brendan took his eye off it and loses it to John Casey, who's on a high after that point. He's on another run. He's got James Durkin with him. Kevin, the corner back. He's 35 metres out. The shot from Durkin. Another wonderful point by Durkin. Well, it's Kevin's first point, but it's another wonderful point by a back. And so far, 4 backs have scored. 3 for Charlestown and 1 for Claremorris. And Kevin James, a very good point. And certainly the backs coming forward have punished the defences on both sides with good scores. We approach half-time. Coleman Ward will kick the ball out. It comes down towards James Keane. It's knocked away from him. It comes towards Higgins, to a Honeyman, in towards Gallagher. Back there is Mick Walsh. Mick loses the ball to Gallagher. Gallagher has it. Turns inside, back to Kenny Riley. Kelly is looking for somebody. He's got Alan Moran. Alan back towards John Morley and Sean Higgins. Morley takes it away, a big strong man. Bursts out past Higgins. free to Claremorris. Anthony Joyce down here under us with Stephen Healy. 11 points to 6. Kevin Byrne will take this free out from the 20-metre line. Kevin Byrne now with this kick. Kicks it low. The referee blows the half-time whistle. And the score, Charlestown 11 points, Claremorris 1-3 in a very entertaining first half. Despite the weather conditions in the morning, leaving the ground so wet, but it has dried up very well now, and the ground, considering all the rain, is in great condition here in Ballyhonus. Just a couple of patches down here in front of the town in goal as the players troop off for a well-earned rest in half-time. Charlestown mentors, one of the Mr. Charlestown down there, Bobby O'Connell with the cap. And we're ready for the second half of this county intermediate final here in Ballyhonus. No changes apparently on either side for the start. Claremorris in the sky blue and navy, playing from left to right on this first Sunday in October. Seamus Barrett checks the watch, the throw-in, the game is on, and Dennis Carney gets a hand to it, knocks it down to Michael Burns. And Michael is 45 metres out, is little Michael Burns. He's 30 metres out, gives it into Kenny Riley in front of the goal. Kenny turns shot, the weak shot in towards the goal. Coleman Ward takes it from Kenneth Riley as Seamus Gallagher fouls Coleman. Takes it quickly towards Joe Charles. Joe looking up, gives the ball down the middle, but straight down to Dennis Carney. Dennis gives it in towards Higgins. And Sean seems to have got a change of gear. He's much drier, and as he picked up some little ankle injury there, as he came inside Joe Charles, as Sean Higgins has got a point already. Colin Harkin will take this free. Colin has got 3 points already for Charlestown. This would be a good score to get just after half-time into this breeze. He kicks it in, kicks it over the bar at ease, and his 4th point of the game. And Charlestown's 12, 1-3 to 12 points.
Come on, Sean Higgins, this is your ball again, boy.
Coleman Ward high towards Burns. Judged the ball very well, left footed, and towards Sean Higgins, who seems to be pushed off it by Joe Charles. Is it Kevin Byrne? Well, it's Kevin Byrne's name that's going in the book for that challenge, and referee has a chat there with his linesman, Thomas Noel Gohan, as Kevin Byrne's name goes in the book. He checks his number. Kevin could be in a bit of trouble here. Well, Sean Higgins is up. Kevin Byrne's name is in the book, and John Casey will take this free. Well, Colin Harkin is there as well, and Colin will take it as Brendan Fitzpatrick walks over the ball. Colin Harkin now comes and kicks it right footed in towards the goal, in towards Kenny Riley and John Morley. John takes it down with one hand as Rory Charles bursts by Kenny. Kenny pulls him down. Free out. Rory Charles takes it quickly towards Johnny Commons on his knees, but picked it up. A good ball into the middle towards Joe Gorham. Down to Boyle, Anthony Boyle, being challenged by Harkin. Back there is Tom Collar, and he's being challenged. He's got Tommy Ward with him out this side of the field, and a former Knockmore man has it. Back 35 metres out, being challenged, being fouled by Joe. A free out. John Casey will take it. Tommy Ward, the old head, held onto it for the second and waited for John Casey. as there's a substitute comes on the Claremorris team. Looks like John Hessian, number 22. Aidan O'Boyle has gone off and Hessian is on. The ball high in towards the Joe Charles, who picked it up low. Back towards Vincey Joyce. A high ball in towards Tom Colleran. Out. Challenges his own man there, being challenged by Hessian. Back towards Horkin, to Casey, to Durkin. Playing it very tight in the backs. Mick Burns. Fisted up towards Tommy Ward. Tommy, a low ball into the corner towards Kenny Riley. Kenny.
Here's the ball, it's gone. It's our ball, it's our ball, it's Claremorris ball. It has to be.
John Morley is down. Referee Seamus Barrett wags his finger there at Johnny Commons as Johnny Morley, who was very influential in the game so far. While John has received attention there to his back as the linesman throws the ball in. It comes down towards Alan Morton. Alan being challenged out over the line. Johnny Commons takes it, a high ball in. Back there is Colin Harkin, low out the far side of the field, out towards Honeyman. Henry, Rory Charles is there first. Seamus Gallagher and Henry Honeyman challenge Rory, and it's a free to Claremorris. Claremorris need to score or two now to get back in this game, as the referee has a chat there with Seamus Gallagher. There's 6 minutes gone in the second half. The sky is darkening over Ballyhonus, and a high ball in towards Hessian. Comes down to Gorham, being challenged there by Kevin James Durkin. It's still Gorham. Back to Hessian. Hessian's shot is half blocked down. Tommy Ward is back there. A ball comes down to Dennis Carney. You won't push Dennis off the ball that easy. And Tommy Ward, playing a defensive role, is pulled down. The referee says, Tommy, get up. And Tommy is on his feet. Time 7 minutes gone in the second half, and Casey kicks a good ball down towards Higgins and Charles. Joe Slattery. Joe has it. Being pushed in the back. A free to Claremorris. Joe Slattery, who's having a fine game, gives it in towards Joe Gorham. Joe is fouled. A free to Claremorris, and Johnny Commons will take it. Johnny Commons now with this free down here as Claremorris make changes. John Morley has gone out to wing back as Johnny Commons kicks the ball in and kicks it over the bar for his second point, and Claremorris fourth, 1-4 to 12 points. Kevin Byrne has gone full back for Charlestown, and Mick Walsh has come over to the right full back, and John Morley has gone left full back. These are switches on the Charlestown team. John Hessian is in for Claremorris instead of Aidan O'Boyle, number 11, who's gone off as Eddie Scanlon kicks the ball this side of the field towards Dennis Carney, out in front of his man this time. James gives it towards Casey as he's been challenged by James Keane. It's still Casey, and Casey making ground deep into the heart of the Claremorris defence. Is still Casey, being challenged by Kevin Byrne. Fisted back to Alan Morton. Allen is inside. A shot from Allen, down in front of the goal. A shot from Higgins is taken away by Morley. A dangerous attack there, broken up by John Morley. Gives it out to Vincent Joyce and Vincent. A high ball up in the air. Stephen Healy is back, gets a hand to it, loses the ball. It's being picked up by Brendan Fitzpatrick. He's got Anthony Joyce with them. Brendan has it. He's got Joe Gorham backing him up. Joe fists it into Joyce. Joyce is in front of the goal. Joyce is shot. Joyce are wide, and a huge Claremorris follow and show a sigh of disbelief with that wide by Joe.
Finish that ball.
Eddie Scanlon with this free out. It comes high down towards Dennis Carney. It's fisted away from Dennis. Comes towards Harkin. It comes to Robert O'Connell. Jinks inside a man. Loses the ball. Knocks it down to Dennis Carney. Dennis out to Casey. John. Two Claremorris men come to him, but John a long drop kick out towards Henry Honeyman. Down to Michael Burns. Michael is on a solo run. He's 70 metres out. Make that 60. He's been challenged by Johnny Commons. Johnny fell on his backside as Michael Burns advances down into the corner. A shot. A goal! And the Seamus Gallagher has stuck the ball into the back of the net for a wonderful goal for Charlestown. It was set up by Michael Burns, and Seamus Gallagher moved over to the right full forward position and stuck it in with authority. Charlestown lead 112 to 1-4. Are Charlestown on their way to picking up the intermediate crown as a compensation for their loss last year in the senior decider? It's high down towards Morton, towards Higgins. Higgins knocks it inside to his man, Kevin Byrne. He's got Kenny Riley with him. It's Higgins a shot, Higgins a point. And Charlestown are certainly on a crest of a wave at the moment. They have 113 to 1-4, and they've got 1-1 in the space of a minute. Claremorris, the wind advantage in the second half doesn't seem to have helped them a great deal. As Coleman Ward kicks this ball towards the 70, towards James Keane and Dennis Carney. Dennis seemed to be pulled off the ball there. It comes down to Harkin. It's stopped there by Brendan French. Brendan was fouled, high ball in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, and Brendan not very influential today owing to the injury. Joe Gorham a shot. Joe Gorham a point. And certainly Claremorris needed that score. 1-5 to 113 in favour of Charlestown. The county intermediate final here. 11 and a half minutes gone in the second half. This game certainly is not over yet. Knowing the Claremorris men, they've got tremendous fighting spirit. They last won the county senior back in 1971. And they last appeared in the final in 78. A free to Claremorris, taken quickly. In towards Joe Gorham. Joe, a shot. It screws off his boot and goes out to the left of the goal, right and wide. John Carney down there should be a much happier man now, leading by the 8 points, 1-5 to 113. John, a great old warrior and brother of Dennis, bound towards Dennis. It's been picked up by Kevin James Durkin. Out to Michael Burns. Burns has got Stephen Healy with him, and Stephen toe to hand, a neat player, low ball in towards Kenny Riley, and Kenny, a good ball in towards Gallagher. He's inside John Morley, a shot from Gallagher and a point by Gallagher. And Seamus Gallagher has got 1-1 in the space of 2 or 3 minutes, and that's another nail in the Claremorris coffin.
Come on, Charlestown, concentration. Come on, concentration.
114 to 1-5, and this is a very good performance from Charlestown. They've certainly taken the game to Claremorris in the second half, playing against this wind. Coleman Ward, low, it's been picked up by Vincent Joyce. Vincent burst by Henry Honeyman. Vincent low. into the corner. Brendan Fitzpatrick, a left-footed ball in towards Kevin Rain. Kevin has been challenged. There's a mass of green shirts in front of them. One of them was Casey, out this side of the field, towards Michael Burns. Burns has got John Casey backing him up now. John, left-footed, high, up in the air. Kenny Riley rises for it. The strength of Kenny won that. It comes down towards Alan Morden. Alan, low ball in. John Morley is there. John has difficulty, loses the ball. But there's Vincent Joyce. And Joyce, a high ball in towards Joe Gorham. Joe's got Anthony Joyce running with them. Toe to hand. Then a high ball in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. And if anyone will unhinge this Charlestown defence, it's Brendan. The left-footed shot in. A glorious point from Brendan Fitzpatrick. His first contribution. He has narrowed the gap down to 1-6 to 1-14. Neil Higgins. It seems like Neil Higgins is coming on, the Claremorris team. And Kevin Ring comes off as Neil Higgins goes off. Neil Higgins goes on and Kevin Ring comes off. Free, Johnny Commons will take it. And Johnny Commons will take it off the hand. A high ball in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. The ball goes out towards the end line. Out over the end line and wide. Down towards Kearney. Loses the ball. It comes towards Hessian. John being challenged by Dennis Kearney. 15 minutes gone. John Hessian with the free. The line ball. High ball across towards Gorham. Tom Colran takes it out. Tom fists it towards Michael Burns. He's being challenged by Commons to Robert O'Connor. And Robert makes a burst up the field. He's 70 metres out from his own goal to Kenny Riley. Out in front of Kevin Byrne. Kenny left-footed out this side of the field towards Alan Morden and Mick Walsh. Alan fouls Mick. And the experienced Mick kicks it high up towards Dennis Kearney. James Keane kept his eye on it and took it. He's got Joe Gorham with him. He uses John Hessian instead. He's been challenged by Casey. John steps inside him. Down to Gorham, who's made a good run. Being challenged by Conran. Back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick steps inside Robert O'Connell. He's been fouled by Robert and a free to Claremorris. A free to Claremorris. Brendan Fitzpatrick will take it. Chance here to narrow the gap down to 7 points. As Brendan comes up, kicks it in, it's low, it goes in and it goes out for a 45. A 45, not a very well struck free there from Brendan. Johnny. And Brendan Fitzpatrick will take this 45 himself. Left-footed comes and kicks it, a good ball in. It's gone over the bar. A great score from Brendan Fitzpatrick, his contribution for Claremorris in the second half. 1-7 to 1-14. There's 7 points in it. And we got 17.5 minutes gone in the second half. 12.5 to go. Claremorris need a goal to get back into this game as Eddie Scanlon comes and kicks it out the far side of the field. Comes towards Johnny Commons. Johnny takes it quickly in towards Gorham and Tom Colran. Brendan French is there. Brendan is just to pick the ball off the ground. It's a free out to the Charlestown men. And the men from East Mayo breathe a sigh of relief with that free out. 12 minutes left in the game. John Casey. Casey now, taking no hurry whatsoever. John, take this free. High towards Burns, who's having a wonderful game at centre field. In towards Kenny Riley, who slipped as he went for the ball. Kevin Byrne bursts out and takes the ball away. Low ball in towards Gorham and Colran. A ball seemed to be touched on the ground by Vincent Joyce, but he got away with it. It comes towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. Steps inside Robert O'Connell. A shot from Brendan Fitzpatrick and a point from Brendan Fitzpatrick. And certainly Brendan has found the range after being subdued for most of the game. But Brendan Fitzpatrick and the Fitzpatrick family have been steeped in the football, and they will not give up without a fight as Claremorris introduced another sub. It looks like Pat Noonan. Pat Noonan comes on. And it looks like Anthony Joyce here. Anthony shakes his head and says it wasn't his day, and he goes off and Noonan comes on. Pat Noonan. The kick out from Scanlon. It's high. It comes towards Dennis Kearney, who knocks it down to Tommy Ward. Tommy is fouled. He's already got a senior championship medal with Knockmore. He's a Garda based in Charlestown. He was centre half forward last year on the team against his old club Knockmore. And Tommy, another great tradition in the family of Wards. Pat played for Mayo, and the ball in towards Dennis Kearney. Dennis has got Sean Higgins with him. Sean has bearing down the Claremorris goal. He's been challenged. He loses the ball. Kevin Byrne takes the ball out. He's been challenged by Dennis Kearney. He's been fouled by Dennis, and a free out. We've got 10 minutes left. Taken quickly towards Neil Higgins. Higgins takes it to the other substitute, Hessian, to Kevin Byrne. Kevin, a long ball in, but nobody there but Tom Colran. And Tom gives it out to Stephen Healy. The field is cutting up considerably. It's still Healy, low towards Higgins. And certainly the ploy of carrying the ball by Charlestown is working as the ball comes in towards Colin Harkin, and down in front of the goal, a shot from Harkin, a weak shot taken by Coleman Ward. Out this side of the field to Joe Charles. 30 metres out from his own goal, being challenged by Dennis Kearney to Hessian. A low ball in towards Healy, and who's mopping up there, out to Colran. Colran out to Henry Honeyman, a big strong boy. And himself and Joe Gorham has had a bit of a altercation there. He's having a chat with Henry Honeyman. And Henry saying, I did nothing. Well, Seamus Barrett having a long chat with him, but Henry stays on the field. Didn't do enough to warrant just a book in. Joe Gorham has it. Joe back to Johnny Commons. Johnny will have a shot for a point. It's an adventurous shot. Dennis Kearney is down there. Gives it out to Robert O'Connell. Robert then looks up, gives a huge ball out towards Johnny Commons. Or James Keane. James down to Joyce. Vincent into French, and the young fella hasn't done that much since he got that early goal. Loses the ball. It's been picked up by Pat Noonan. Being challenged by Durkin. Back to Joe Gorham. A right-footed shot by Gorham. It'll tail off to the right and wide. 7 minutes left in the game. 1-8 to 1-14 in favour of Charlestown. Eddie Scanlon with the free out. The free from Eddie Scanlon. Down towards Dennis Carney. Dennis brings the ball up. But he's judged to have picked it off the ground. Vincent Joyce takes it into the corner towards French. Brendan being challenged by Ward. Ward gets a hand in, knocks the ball away from him. He's got Robert O'Connor outside him. Robert being followed by Brendan Fitzpatrick. It's still Robert. Close to the sideline. Gives it up this side of the field. Out over the line. Line ball. Free Joe Charles will take it.
Come on. Come on.
Charles high in towards Gorham. Takes it down to Johnny Commons. A shot. Oh, and a dangerous shot from Johnny Commons. Just went inches wide with Eddie Scanlon beaten. As a sub comes on the Charlestown team, it looks like Alan Riley comes on. Alan Scanlon takes the ball, kicks the ball out towards Michael Burns. Henry Honeyman is off. It's a free to Charlestown, and Alan Riley is on. And Charlestown Sarsfields leads 114 to 1-8. County Intermediate final here in Ballyhonus. We got 4 minutes left in the game. John Casey kicks it high towards Alan Morden, knocks it down. It's knocks inside there. But back there is Joe Slattery. Out towards James Keane. James. Low ball in towards Neil Higgins. Neil is on the run. Gives it into Joe Gorham. Being challenged by Hawk and Cullen. Back to Hessian. Hessian's shot is blocked out by Casey. And that's certainly a sign of a winning team when you see them getting those challenges in and knocking them out for 45s, and those blocks and little knocks away are vital. Claremorris team will be dangerous to the end, and they will fight on. There's only the 6 points in it, and a goal would certainly put this game in the melting pot. As taken quickly back towards Joyce, a high ball in from Brendan Fitzpatrick, and over the bar for Brendan Fitzpatrick, his 4th point of the game. 1-9 to 114. 5 points in it.
Come on, Dennis!
3 minutes left in the game.
John Higgins, get to the corner and left hand. Come on, Dennis, Jimmy!
Eddie Scanlon comes and kicks this ball high towards Noonan. The young fella is fouled. He'll leave it there for James Keane. Takes it quickly, but Tom Colleran is there, and Tom bursts out with it. Back to Casey. Casey to Harkin, to Dennis Kearney. And Dennis, a high ball up towards Alan Morden and Mick Walsh. Alan is in front of Mick. He's been challenged by Mick. Gives it on the run to Higgins. Higgins is inside Slattery. Loses the ball, tries to bring it around Coleman. But Kenny Riley loses the ball to Mick Walsh. The ball is close to the ground. Alan Morden has it. He looks back for Kenneth Riley. Kenneth across the middle towards Kevin Riley. Alan Riley loses the ball out there towards Johnny Commons. It's taken away out towards Hessian. Hessian and the young fella takes it up as he's being challenged by Hawk, and a low ball in towards Joe Gorham. Jorm in front of the goal tries to get around Tom Colleran. He's been fouled, and it's a free in. Free to Claremorris in front of the Charlestown goal. 1-9 to 114. Brendan Fitzpatrick now has this free. There's just 5 points in it. Brendan tips it in, tips it over the bar. His 5th point, and Claremorris 10th, 110 to 114. As we enter the final minute of the game. Sub on the Charlestown team, it's Fergal Walsh. And Fergal Walsh comes on as Seamus Gallagher comes off, and Seamus has certainly been very influential in this win with that wonderful goal and a point. Down towards Riley. It's been picked up by Neil Higgins. The ball is knocked away from Neil. Picked up by Johnny Commons. Left footed in towards Gorham. Brendan Fitzpatrick back to Gorham. He's on the run. He's in front of the goal. A shot from Gorham and a goal! A goal for Claremorris. 210 to 114. Joe Gorham has stuck the ball in the Charlestown net. Can it be a repeat of 1992? Just a 1 point in it. 210 to 114. Number 14 on his back. Joe Gorham stuck the ball into the corner of the Charlestown net. 16 points to 17. Scanlon high towards Kearney. And Dennis, if you never got a ball, now is your time for Charlestown as the ball comes down to Kenny Riley. Kenny's ball to Healy. Healy's got Robert O'Connell with him, and Robert will carry it. He's 60 metres out from his own goal. A long ball in towards Alan Morden. And Kevin Byrne has been picked up there by Higgins. It's blocked away from Riley. Being picked up out the far side of the field to Kevin Byrne. Can this game end in a draw? Kevin Byrne on the run. And just listen to the crowd as Byrne bears down on the half of the field. As back there is Healy. Gets a touch to it as Johnny Commons. In towards Joe Gorham, the scorer of the goal a couple of minutes ago. The ball is close to the ground. It's still Joe Gorham. Joe looks up. He's got Hessian out. Back to Brendan Fitzpatrick. A good man with a shot. A wonderful score from Fitzpatrick, and the sides are level. The sides are level in Ballyhonus in this intermediate final. 211 to 114. And Eddie Scanlon to Colran. Tom. Out towards Colin Harkin. The referee calls full time. But the score, Claremorris 211. Charlestown 114. Well, certainly it's back from the depths of defeat for the Claremorris men. They looked dead and buried for long periods, but they showed their fighting spirit and their class with some great scores there, and Joe Gorham's goal brought them right back in it. There was just the 4 points in it, and then Brendan Fitzpatrick with that wonderful point tied the scores to bring us back for a replay as we say bye-bye from Ballyhonus on this nice mild evening here now as the crowd file out, and no doubt they'll be back and more with them for the replay after this wonderful sporting game here in Ballyhonus. We say bye-bye from the intermediate final. Hello everybody, and welcome to Charlestown on this splendid autumn day for the final of the County Intermediate Championship replay on this absolutely beautiful sunny October day. A big difference from this day fortnight when they drew. Claremorris 114, Charlestown 211. We're almost ready for the start of the first half now. Claremorris playing from left to right. Seamus Barrett throws the ball in Dennis Carney pushed it back there, but it's been picked up by Vincent Joyce. Gives out a good ball out the far side to Brendan Fitzpatrick, who loses it. It's been picked up by Tommy Ward. Tommy steps inside, gives a good ball out to Healy. It's beaten, and John Morley beats Kenneth Riley. A high ball back towards Tommy Halligan. Tommy Halligan gives the ball back, but the ball goes out over the line. A line ball taken quickly. Goes into the centre to Hessian. Hessian gives it into Joe Gorham. Joe Gorham steps inside Tom Collins. Shot by Joe Gorham, and a point from Joe Gorham. The first score of the game from Joe Gorham. Took on Tom Collins and beat him and in along the end line and put the ball over. And then high down towards James Keane. It's knocked down and picked up by Joe Slattery. Slattery a high ball in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan has it out in front of O'Connell Robert. In course the goalie is knocked in, and it's knocked out over the end line and wide. Well, Neil Higgins there had a chance to put his name on the score sheet, but he flicked the ball in and it went wide. Eddie Scanlon, the Achill native, now playing with Charlestown, comes and kicks this into the sun. Up towards Dennis Carney. Dennis takes it. Beats Johnny Commons. Or James Kane, and James is back from Florida from his holidays. Adjudged to have fouled Dennis there and gives away another 10 metres. Ball taken by Dennis Carney, a good ball into the middle. Kenneth Riley is out, gets a hand to it, knocks it down. But it's pulled first time out there by Rory Charles. Out over the line, a line ball to Charlestown on the far side of the field. Stephen Healy will take it. Stephen takes a low ball into the middle. In towards Michael Burns. Michael toward a hand, hops it. Going nowhere. Still Michael Burns, he's been challenged, he's been fouled. Taken quickly into the middle, but it's taken out by Vincey Joyce. Vincey Joyce had good ball up towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan out in front. Wasn't really in the game in the first 45 minutes in the drawing game. Brendan has it. The leg looks much better today. It's knocked down there, and it's being picked up by Horkin. Out to Casey. Casey out to Halligan. Halligan being challenged. Back to us, Casey. Casey into the middle to Horkin. Horkin, Colin, low to Kenny Riley. A low ball into the corner. Mick Gallagher, Welch is out there. Mick is fouled. There's a free to Claremorris. Taken quickly. Well, he tends to take it quickly, but Mick takes it now. A high ball to Dennis Carney. Dennis takes it, sun in his eyes. Gives it out the far side of the field, out towards Henry Honeyman, but Henry is adjudged to have been fouling Rory Charles. Free to Claremorris, playing with this very strong sun. Rory now takes it out towards James Kane. James wearing 9, steps inside Kenny Riley. A good ball out this side of the field, out towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, who moves over this side. Gives it into the middle to Joe Gorham. Joe fists it on towards the centre, towards Brendan French. French is beaten by Casey. Back to Halligan. Hammy gets a high ball up towards Dennis Carney and James Kane. Kenny Riley picks up the loose ball. Gives it in towards Ward. Tommy tries to come inside. Vincey James, he's fouled. Gives it quickly into the centre towards to Sean Higgins. Sean Higgins on the run. He's inside Joe Charles. It's still Higgins. Higgins steps inside and kicks it out to the right and wide. Coleman Ward out. James Keane knocks it on. Tommy Halligan is there. Gets in first. Gets a boot to it. Comes to Neil Higgins. Neil on today, but he's robbed by Sean Higgins. Sean has got Kenneth Riley. Sean knocks it into the middle. It's been picked up there on the right by Alan Moran. Moran's shot is blocked. Comes towards Sean Higgins. and Kevin Byrne. Kevin gets his shoulder to Sean, but the ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Charlestown. Charlestown has started very nervous in this replay. Claremorris have the 1 point on the board. Is taken in quickly in towards Alan Moran. Alan Moran has a man in the middle. His shot is half blocked, but he took too many steps, and it's a free out to Claremorris. Now Coleman Ward comes up in black today, and the referee has spotted something, or the linesman calls the attention of the referee Seamus Barrett to something that happened, and he's having a word with Stephen Healy, is it? Yes, he's having a word with Stephen Healy. He's spoken Stephen Healy. A fine crowd here today now for this replay. On this day that's ideal for good football. The ground is dry and this pitch well cut and marked, and everything points to a really cracking decider. Coleman Ward will take this free from the 5 metre line. Coleman high out towards Dennis Carney and James Kane. There was pushing. Dennis is pushed in the back. Dennis wants to take it quickly, but he does now. Gives it in quickly in towards the corner, towards Seamus Gallagher, but Coleman beats him as he's been challenged by Alan Moran. Alan challenges Coleman. He went across the goal. He judged to have held onto the ball too long, and there's a free into Charlestown. And Colm Horkin will take it. Colm, who scored 4 points the last day. Number 6. Here's this free, dead straight in front of the goal. Now Colm Horkin comes up to line this free up. He steps back and comes up and he kicks it right footed in. He tips it over the bar. A good point. First score for Charlestown, and the first for Colm Horkin. He got 4, as I said, the last day. He's got 1 today so far. Charlestown's first score after 9 minutes of play. Coleman Ward comes now and kicks it out the far side of the field this time. It's misjudged there by that Masper. Comes into the middle towards Hessian. John, a low ball, but John Casey picks up the loose ball, gives it into Kenneth Riley. Kenneth being challenged by Morley. Back to Dennis Carney. Dennis gives it in quickly to John Casey. John Casey 20 metres out. John Casey a shot. John Casey a point, and John has put Charlestown in the lead. A good score there from John. Moved up the field from his left half back position and tapped the ball over the bar with ease. The early stages of this game, neither team has showed any dominance. The ball has been picked up there by Dennis Carney. Dennis is fouled, and Dennis is certainly putting a stamp on the game early on. Ball comes in towards Alan Moran. Alan quickly in towards Michael Burns. Michael left-footed, a huge high ball in towards the goal. It's been knocked out and been picked up there by Rory Charles. He's got Joe Slattery with them. Out towards James Kane. James Kane, 5 metres in from the sideline. He's a high ball, but straight to Tommy Halligan. Sun in his eyes. He takes it up. There's Dennis Carney. Dennis left-footed up the side of the field, going close to the sideline. It goes out over the line on the 13-metre line. Being taken from Kevin Byrne to Vincent Joyce. Vincent's shot is half blocked down by Moran. Comes across there to Mick Walsh, and the former Mayo minor is fouled there. Minor of 78. Northern Ireland winning minor team. Mick Walsh, experienced player, won that free. Lofts a high ball up towards Dennis Carney and James Kane. James knocks it in with a fist. Dennis being challenged there by Brendan French. It's been picked up there by Sean Higgins. Sean gives it back to Dennis. Dennis fists it in towards the middle, back towards Higgins. Higgins has been challenged. Back to Dennis Carney. Dennis fisted into Tommy Ward. Tommy Ward fisted onto Higgins. Higgins 25 metres out, steps inside James Keane, and the holiday seems to have having its effect on James. Back to Alan Moran. Moran back, loses the ball, being challenged, but he's adjudged to have touched the ball on the ground and is free out. Certainly James Keane hasn't come into this game as much as he did in the drawn game. Kevin Byrne. Kevin, the Mayo player, now will take this free out from the 20-metre line. High towards Dennis Kearney and James Keane. Dennis rises for it, but loses it in the sun. It's been picked up by Neil Higgins into the Charlestown half of the field. He loses the ball, but he's fouled. Free to Claremorris. Neil Higgins takes it quickly. Out towards Johnny Commons. Johnny Commons into the corner towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. He's 40 metres out. He tries to come inside Robert O'Connor. Gives a low ball out the far side of the field towards Johnny Commons. Close to the sideline. Johnny. He's been challenged. He's been fouled. It's a free into Claremorris. Close to the sideline. Johnny Commons will take this free.
On the line, John Henson. All right, Jim. Jim, break it instead of free. Good boy. He's doing nothing with it.
Johnny Commons now with this free. He's got Brendan French running for it. It's low in towards Tommy Halligan. Has knocked out and picked up by Michael Burns. He's got Kenneth Riley in the centre of the half-back position. Kenneth has it. Looks up, then a low ball. Left-footed out towards Sean Higgins. Sean has several options. One of them is Stephen Healy. He uses Stephen out to Michael Burns. Michael Burns about 30 metres out. Being challenged by Brendan French. A shot from Michael Burns and a wide from Michael with the left foot. Brendan French slipped as he went to challenge him, and he still didn't avail of the opportunity, and Michael Burns sent that one wide. On this absolutely gorgeous day here in Ballyhaunis. The summer is back. It may be the middle of October, but with weather like this, you'd think the summer was back again to us. Coleman. Ward comes and kicks this ball down towards Kearney and Keane. Kearney rises for it, brings it down. He's beaten this time by James Keane. James in towards Horkan, down to Tommy Halligan. Halligan challenges Joe Gorham there. It's still Gorham, the bank official. Gives a good ball into the centre, but Vincent James beats Tommy Ward. Out towards French, close to the sideline. It's still French, being followed by Casey. French steps inside John Casey. French is shot. A left-footed shot in. And over the bar for Frenchy. Brendan French stuck it over the bar to level the scores. He was a goal scorer the last day. Brendan French, a great point off the left foot. The side. 15 minutes gone in this first half, and it's Eddie Scanlon high towards Dennis Kearney. Dennis fisted towards Higgins. Higgins on a solo run. He's been followed by Charles. It's still Higgins. Comes inside Charles. A shot from Higgins and a point from Higgins. Sean Higgins, his first score today. He was the scorer of 2 points in the drawing game. Certainly Charlestown have the superiority at midfield with Dennis Kearney's fielding, certainly causing the Claremorris midfield a lot of trouble, and Claremorris are not as dominant in the middle of the field, but they're still only just the 1 point behind. A lot of wastage by the Charlestown forwards. Low out towards Kevin Byrne. Kevin gives it out this side of the field towards Vincy James. Vinny Joyce. Joyce being challenged by Higgins. Still Joyce. Now Kenneth Riley comes to him, but he's adjudged to have held on to the ball too long.
You're free, sir! You're free, sir! Sir, you're free!
A free two. Well, Seamus Barrett made a small hiccup there. He signalled the wrong way. He's given that free to Vincent Joyce, and Brendan Fitzpatrick now. It's 56 or 57 metres out. Left footed in towards Dennis Kearney. Dennis back playing corner back. He's been challenged there by Johnny Commons. Back to Robert O'Connell. Robert to Tom Colleran, the chemist. Out the far side of the field to Henry Honeyman. Henry back to Stephen Healy. Low towards Kenneth Riley. Kenneth going towards his own goal. Into the corner towards Seamus Gallagher, but he's beaten there by Mick Welch. Back to Hessian. Hessian's shot is blocked down by Michael Burns. Michael fisted out the far side of the field towards Seamus Gallagher, who has gone into a defensive position, into Moran. Alan Moran in front of the goal. His shot from Moran is well blocked by Coleman Ward. Out towards Joe Slattery. Joe has been challenged, Joe has been fouled, and it's a free out, taken quickly towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, but the referee has stopped the play because Michael Burns is injured. Hold on, I get my coat. Michael Burns is up, he's okay. After that bit of a knock. Coleman high towards Kearney and Keane, knocked down by Dennis, picked up by Kenneth Riley, gives it in quickly into the middle, but it's misjudged there by Alan Moore, and it's got out there by John Morley. Kevin Byrne misjudges the hop. It comes towards Casey, to Kenneth Riley. Kenneth comes inside James Keane. It's still Kenneth. He hopped the ball there, and the ball went away from him, and Kenneth kicked it wide. Ward high towards Keane. It's knocked away from him by Dennis Kearney. Tommy Ward is fouled. Takes it quickly to Dennis Kearney. Dennis is about 20 metres out. It's still Dennis Kearney. He's on the 30 metres line. Dennis in front of the goal. He's been challenged. He loses the ball. It comes back to Moran. Moran's ball is knocked away from him. Towards Keane. Keane out this side of the field towards to Neil Higgins. And Neil, the son of Michael Tick Higgins, to Hessian. John, toe to hand, having difficulty so long with it, loses the ball. Kenneth Riley gets back, but he picks the ball straight off the ground. John Hessian, a free two. Certainly, both sets of mentors shouting advice there to their players, and John Casey now looking for somebody to move to give the ball to them. It's high, it's into the corner, but it's being ticked up there by Rory Charles. Out to Vincent Joyce. Joyce taps it towards Higgins. He's been challenged at the back by Michael Burns, and Michael didn't really go for the ball there. Went for Neil and pushed him in the back, and a free to Claremorris. James Keane puts it down. James Keane with this free is just inside his own half. Low up this side of the field. John Casey gets a hand to it, goes out over the line. A line ball to Claremorris. Neil Higgins. Neil, high ball into the corner, into Johnny Commons. It's knocked away from him, and it's line ball to Charlestown. Colin Horkin will take it. Colin, not as influential as he was in the drawing game. Colin, high ball up in the air, in towards Kevin Byrne and Kenneth Riley. It breaks inside to Tommy Ward. Tommy gets a hand to it, takes it down, one-handed. He's got Dennis Kearney with him. Dennis looking for somebody to give it. He has out the far side of the field. He's got Higgins, Gallagher back to Healy. Healy out to Dennis Kearney. And instead of Dennis Kearney has got more ball than 2 or 3 players on either side of the team. It's gone inside there to Higgins. Higgins down to the front, the shot and a goal! A goal for Charlestown. A goal for Charlestown. Alan Moran, the scorer there. A wonderful goal. A wonderful goal by Alan Moran. He has threatened a score like that for quite a while, and he got the break and he stuck it into the back of the net. It was good work out in the middle of the field from Tommy Ward, and Dennis Kearney has certainly stamped his authority on this game. The former Mayo player having an outstanding game at midfield for Charlestown. Ball being taken from Ward down to Morley, being challenged by Riley. Still John Morley being fouled by Riley. Morley takes it low towards Commons. Commons, a high ball in towards Tom Colleran and Joe Gorham. Joe is out in front of Tom. Joe gets the ball close to the sideline. It's still Joe, the man who brought them back from the dead the last day with his wonderful goal. Gorham cuts inside. It's still Gorham. He's been crowded out, but he's been fouled, and it's a free in. Free to Claremorris. The score 1-3 for Charlestown, 2 points for Claremorris. Referee Seamus Mart, no hesitation. Given that free to Claremorris, Johnny Commons will take it, another former Mayo minor of the 85 team. And Johnny now steps back, comes up, kicks it right footed. He kicks it high in and he kicks it over the bar. For his first point of the game to narrow the gap down to 3 points, 1-3 to 3 points. A difficult ball down to James Kane, knocks it down, but John Casey picks up that knockdown. Fists it to Michael Burns. Michael Burns is challenged, he's fouled, and it's a free. John Casey wants to take it quickly, but the referee has a word there with John Hessian. John, who came on the last day as a substitute and made such an impression, but Michael Burns is in difficulty as Dr. Davey attends to him there. Michael Burns still receiving attention down here, and the Charlestown officials are anxiously attending to him. Whoever's name will go on this trophy today, it will be history in the making, because neither team have ever won it before. Charlestown relegated from senior status last year when they finished at the bottom of the Division 1 league. They were relegated, so they had to compete this year at intermediate level. They have never won this title. Claremorris likewise relegated from senior. Unheard of for Claremorris. They were always a senior team and the backbone of the county team for years, but immigration and an awful pull of players around the Claremorris area with the different clubs took away from Claremorris, and they have never won this competition. As I've said, they are here today. They are 3 points down, and they'll have to up their game to get into it again. But they were dead and buried, we thought, the last day, and they came back from a 9 points down. They're here today, and they're 3 points down. But the kicks it. John Casey kicks it in, but it's picked up by Joe Stratford. Back to it. Kevin Byrne, a high, huge ball. Back there towards Horkin. Horkin shifts a challenge. Gives it out to Dennis Kearney. Dennis has it, being challenged by Kane. Dennis looks up and then gives a low ball into the Alan Moore. And Alan gives it into Michael Burns. He's on the run. He's been followed. He's been chased by Hessian. A shot from Burns. The ball comes back. Well, how did it stay out? It didn't hit the post, I don't think. It comes there to Higgins. Well, the ball looked like if it was going into the net, but it hopped and was taken out. And Colin Horkin will take this free. Well, certainly a let off there for Claremorris with about 3 minutes to half time. Colin Horkin with this free now. About 35 metres out. A little bit to the left of the goal on our left down here. And Colin now comes up now. And he kicks it right footed. He kicks it high. He kicks it in. And that looks a good one. And it's over the bar to extend Charlestown lead to 1-4 to 3 points. 1-4 to 3 points in favour of Charlestown. This high ball down towards Dennis Kearney once again, and Johnny Commons. The ball breaks inside. Being picked low towards Casey. Close to the ground there. Kenneth Riley goes back and helps out. A high ball in towards Alan Moore, but he's beaten there. But Vincy James loses the ball to Moran. Moran gives it in quickly to Michael Burns. John Morley comes out. Misjudges the ball. It comes to Michael Burns. Michael Burns has Tommy Ward with him. Michael Burns a shot. Michael Burns has stuck it in the net this time. He'd got Tommy Ward waiting on the far side of the goal. He didn't need him. He stuck it in the net. He had the confidence to put the ball into the net. Michael Burns, who was down injured a couple of minutes ago, has certainly given Charlestown a good advantage coming to half-time. 2-4 to 3 points. Coleman Ward. Down towards Dennis Carney and Johnny Commons. It's flicked on by Kane. Harkin goes back. Harkin, a huge high ball in towards Mick Walsh. Mick misjudges it and it breaks to Michael Burns, who seemed to have moved into a forward position with Kenny Riley out in the middle of the field. It's still Burns. Back there to Henry Honeyman. Henry, a high, huge ball up in the air towards Alan Moran. Alan knocks it down. It's been picked up by James, but it's knocked away from him. Comes towards Morley and Tommy Ward. Tommy is down on it, and the former Knockmore player. A great man in a situation like that. Down on that ball, gives it into Riley. Riley, a high, right-footed shot in. It'll tail off to the left, and it tails off wide. A good chance there for Kenny Riley to get on the score sheet, but he missed a good chance. Claremorris down 7 points. They were down 9 in the drawn game. Can they come back today? And knowing their heart and spirit, they will. The ball comes up there to Neil Higgins. Neil took his eye off it. Tommy Halligan, the substitute, in today for the holiday, and Kevin James Durkin. And certainly Tom Halligan has played a star role, and no more could be asked of him. Taken by Hessian, out towards Joe Gorham. And this man, the bank official, can he unlock the Charlestown defence? In towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan is pushed in the back by Robert O'Connor. Robert pleads, and Seamus Barrett brings the ball in another 10 metres, and no hesitation. Johnny Commons with this free now. Johnny on the 13-metre line. Johnny comes, taps it up, taps it wide, and certainly when things start to go wrong for you, they go very much wrong, and Johnny, with normal circumstances, would put that over with his eyes shut. And the referee down there having a word with one of the Charlestown defenders. Looks like Colin Harkin, and he's stern warned to Colin whatever happened there.
Well done, John. I know your idea. You're right.
High from Scanlon towards Keane, who knocks it down towards Brendan French. Brendan knocks it out towards Joe Gorham. Joe fists it on towards Commons. Commons, a chance to atone for his miss. Gives it in quickly into the corner, in towards Ring and wide. And Kevin Ring, a chance to narrow the gap. Missed a great opportunity there, and the ball went wide from Kevin. No wind whatsoever. An absolute glorious day for football. We're close to half-time. Eddie Scanlon comes and kicks it high towards Kenneth Riley. It's fisted down. He gives it only straight to the Claremorris man as Joe Gorham. Joe is fouled on the 45. Wants to take it quickly. Tom Hannigan didn't retreat, and Brendan Fitzpatrick has a chance to narrow the gap. Certainly the Ballyhonus pitch in excellent condition today compared to the last day with all the rain it made. As Brendan Fitzpatrick comes up, he left-footed, kicks it in, kicks it over the bar. 2-4 to 4 points in favour of Charlestown. Brendan's first score of the game. He was doubtful right up to the start of the game in the drawn game with a hamstring, but Well, can Charlestown hold on to this lead today as the referee blows for half time? They have a 6-point lead, 2-4 to 4 points, and they had 9 points in the drawn game and they threw it away. But they have the chance today to atone for that, and they have 6 points today. A great opportunity as they go in at half time with that advantage of 6 points. And we have with us now here Terry Riley, editor of the Western People, for his assessment of the first half of this intermediate final here in Ballyhonus. Terry?
Well, welcome to the Costa del Sol, PJ. Would you ever think we'd have weather like this on the 17th of October?
Well, no, but anything is possible in Mayo.
I'm sure we're talking about the match anyhow, and certainly at the first half, what we've seen, Charlestown have confirmed the form they showed last year in the county final, senior final at that, when they were beaten rather fortuitously by a lucky goal, I would say, by Porrick Brogan on that occasion. They've come back today. They've had a good run in the league. They're guaranteed their senior status again this coming year, but they want to go home with a bit of silver also today on the second occasion round. They played very good football around that middle, the diamond around the middle of the field, centre half back to centre half forward. They're really in top.
Is there any one man that has stood out so far, Terry, in your opinion, that has swung this game towards Charlestown's way?
Well, Charlestown have 15 good guys out there today, and good club footballers. I mean, look around Stephen Healy, look around Alan Morden. You could talk about Michael Burns, you could talk about Kenneth Riley, you could talk about the old Maestro, Dennis Carney and Tommy Ward there. I mean, they've the experience and they've also the legs around the place, PG, and they're playing good combination football. They're linking up very well. As against that, Claremorris seem to have the burden of their history there behind them. They're desperately trying to get back to the senior status. They have to win today to get back into senior status, and seem a little bit tied up. And if they could relax a little bit, I know they're 6 points down, if they could relax a little bit, they will come back into the game because they're better than they're showing at the moment.
They look very nervous, all right, but is there any one man out there that you think that would turn this game around for Claremorris?
No, Claremorris, I think, just have to relax all around the field because none of them are really putting it in today. They're a little bit yard behind the man. They're hesitating. They're maybe not getting stuck in. Obviously, they're not following the game plan because I see Billy Fitzpatrick out here urging his players on to do what he told them to do before the match started. And I think that they're just that little bit inhibited. They can't relax. They can't see where the opportunities are. And to flow freely, they must just abandon everything now and go for it.
Okay, thank you very much, Terry. Thank you. The throw-in, the game is on. John Hessian goes for the ball. He's moved out to midfield. John is fouled. Takes the ball quickly, but he's adjudged to have carried the ball too far up the field and he has to come back. James Kane will take that. Some interesting observations there from Terry Riley, a northern county of the view on this county final here in Ballyhonus, and John Hessian will take this free now. He wants to take it from the hand. He's got Brendan Fitzpatrick moving for him. These are the James Kane there. James out the far side of the field towards John Casey, and Charlestown in no mood to relinquish this lead of 6 points to Tommy Ward. He's got Kenneth Riley. He gives it in there in towards Sean Higgins, and Sean causing an awful lot of difficulty to the Claremorris defence. Sean up in the air, not much ground gained with that. James Kane back there, 13 metres line. Gives it out to Higgins once again. Higgins has another chance. A high floating ball in towards the corner, towards Alan Morden. It's knocked down to the goalie. Back towards Kevin Byrne. Kevin. Out there towards Rory Charles. Laurie, a punted ball. Up towards Neil Higgins, being followed by Tommy Halligan, being fouled by Tommy. And Tommy Halligan's been ticked off there by Seamus Barrett. Neil. Ball in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, but it comes into Tom Colran. And the chemist in here in Ballyhonus having a great game. A high ball up towards Rory Charles, knocks it down towards Neil Higgins. Neil gives it into Kevin Ring. A high ball in towards Gora, but back there go John Casey. John beats him. Brings it out the far side of the field, steps inside, back to Tommy Halligan, and Tommy gives it out to Kenneth Riley, playing very deep, and Kenneth left-footed, high ball in towards Morden. Alan, the sun in his eyes, read the ball well, got it in towards Michael Burns, playing in a corner forward. Tommy Ward gets a hand to it as Kevin Byrne is there, and John Morley takes the ball out. Taken towards Hessian. And Hessian, a big boy, a high ball in towards Halligan, who fouls Joe Gorham. A free, and the Clifton-born bank official in Claremorris has won himself a free. Brendan Fitzpatrick with the left foot. And Brendan now, a chance to narrow the gap. This huge crowd here. Brendan kicks it left-footed in, and he pulls it off to the right and wide. Certainly the free's not going over today for the men in blue. One change on the Claremorris team for the second half. Seamus Shaughnessy is on instead of Joe Slattery. Ball is knocked down from Kane towards Neil Higgins. Being challenged there by Horkin. Neil throws the ball out to James Kane. Gives it out towards Hessian. Hessian fists it on towards French. French, a high shot up in the air and wide. Not to the approval of the officials of the Claremorris team here. Kicked it up in the air and kicked it wide. Eddie Scanlon with this ball down. James Kane fists it down. Picked up by French. Low ball in to Joe Gorham. Joe 35 metres out. The shot from Joe and a wide from Joe. The wides tally mounting up for Claremorris. Kenneth Riley on the ball there. Having difficulty with it. Back towards Tommy Hannigan. Back to Tom Colran. Fisted out towards Colin Harkin. A low ball. Comes towards Moore, but James Keane picks it up. Gives it out there to Seamus Shaughnessy, the substitute in the second half. Out towards Brendan Fitzpatrick and Robert O'Connell. The ball goes out over the line, and it's a line ball. A line ball to Charlestown. About 5 metres from their own in line. Taken by Horkin, down towards Dennis Kearney, being challenged there by Vincent Joyce. Dennis left-footed, up the far side of the field, close to the sideline. It's been taken away by Kevin Byrne. Back to John Morley, back to Byrne. Claremorris playing it very tight. Towards Shaughnessy to Charles. Charles pumps it in towards Neil Higgins. Neil has the legs on Stephen Healy, beats him, but Healy gets back to him. The captain of the Charlestown team beats Neil there. Substitute coming on for Claremorris. It's number 23. A ball from Dennis Kearney down here. As Brendan French comes off. Taken quickly towards Hessian. Hessian's kick half blocked down. Out towards Slattery on the far side of the field. Seamus Slattery down to Tommy Ward. Tommy loses the ball, but he's fouled. Seamus Slattery on the team for Brendan French. Free to Charlestown. 8 minutes gone. Taken towards Higgins. Steps inside O'Shaughnessy. Fists it towards Kenneth Riley. Sun in his eyes. Gives the ball out, but Kevin Byrne intercepts, beats Michael Burns. Out the far side of the field to Slattery. His shot is half blocked down by John Casey, close to the sideline. Being challenged by Slattery, being fouled by Slattery, and a free to Charlestown. John Casey. Strong and assured in possession there. The coolness of a veteran. Casey, high into Kenneth Riley. It's fisted down, it's picked up by Riley. A shot from Riley and a wide from Riley. And certainly point scoring isn't one of Kenneth Riley's greatest assets to the team. He's a great man to get possession, but his wayward shooting, ball taken quickly out. Kevin Byrne out to James Keane. Keane up on the far side of the field in the shade of the stand. The ball hops there. Tom Conran knocks it down. Comes out, picks up the loose ball himself, beats Slattery down to Dennis Kearney. Dennis has got Stephen Healy, the captain. A low weighted ball out towards Higgins. Higgins onto Henry, a high ball into the sun. Alan Morton is under it. A ball breaks down. Morton has it in front of the goal. It breaks away from to Coleman Ward. Gives a good ball out this side of the field towards Ring. But the ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Claremorris. And the referee, Seamus Barrett, noting the name of John Kearney, Dennis's brother there, the manager of the Charlestown team, for something he said. Rory Charles with this free, our line. Rory low up the side of the field, close to the sideline, kicks it out over the line. Another line ball to Charlestown. Taken by Horkin, high in towards Burns and Michael. Jersey, all fresh logo on the front of it. Michael is fouled and it's a free in to Charlestown. And heavily bandaged leg, Michael Burns. And the referee wants Michael to go to the sideline for attention. Takes it out the far side of Tommy Ward. Tommy in front of the goal. Tommy high. Tommy over the bar for a point. His first score of the game to extend the lead to 7. 2-5 to 4 points. In this eagerly awaited county intermediate semi-final here, with this game going out live today on MWR FM from Ballyhonus here, with their commentator just below us here, Willie Ryan, relaying the action as it happens. And Coleman Ward high towards the centre, towards Kenneth Riley. It breaks there from James Key. Big picked up by Hessian. He's been fouled, taken quickly by out the far side of the field towards Joe Gorham. Gorham back towards the far side of Shaughnessy, out towards Slattery. Slattery fits it back to Gorham. Gorham steps inside John Casey, but he's fouled. Joe, as he went by, he was fouled, and we got 12 minutes gone in the second half. We're ready for this free. Brendan Fitzpatrick will take it. Brendan has got just a 1 point already, and he steps back now, and he comes up as the youngsters on the far side of the field give this ooh-ah, and the ball came off the post. Back to it, Kenneth Riley. The referee stops the play and he's going to throw the ball in. Something that happened down there. Kenneth is under it. He knocks it down. It's been picked up by Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan is fouled and it's a free in. A free to Claremorris. A chance to narrow the gap. Johnny Commons. Brendan Fitzpatrick wants to take it quickly. Brendan taps it in and taps it over the bar. To narrow the gap down to 2 goals. 2-5 to 5 points. Is this the score that will inspire Claremorris to greater heights? That's their first score of the second half. We're 13.5 minutes gone. Dennis Carney is under it. It's fisted away from him. Being picked up by Neil Higgins. And Neil getting an awful lot of good possession out there. But back there is Tom Colran. Tom was going to fist it there to Tommy Halligan, but he opted for the long ball and shot out towards Michael Burns and Kevin Byrne. Kevin won the possession, and well, for a team that's 6 points down, they're in no hurry. Kevin out towards Casey. He's being challenged by Gorham in the back, but he's just accelerated away from him. Joe is getting back at him. John then looks up, a huge ball in towards the corner, towards Gallagher. Gallagher has it. Seamus down in front of the goal. A shot from Seamus Gallagher and over the bar for a point. 1-1 the last day was Seamus's contribution. Today he's opened his account. It's 14 minutes and a half gone in the second half. 2-6 to 5 points. Coleman high towards Dennis Carney, brings it down only to James Keane, and James has come into the game a lot more in the second half. James low out the far side towards Slattery. Slattery the Hessian is blocked down, half blocked. He gets it back on the run, back to Slattery. Slattery is shot. Slattery a point. Eddie Scanlon kicks it towards James Keane and Dennis Carney. Dennis was being pushed in the back. It's a free. Dennis wants to take it himself. Dennis low towards Michael Burns, his former midfield partner, now playing in the corner forward position. Michael being pulled by Kevin. Gives it towards Morton. Down towards Higgins, and Sean Higgins. Low in towards Seamus Gallagher. Seamus being pulled by McWalsh, being fouled and a free in. Colin Harkin with his free now to extend the lead once again for Charlestown. We got 13 minutes left in this fascinating intermediate final here. Colin, right footed, off the post, down to Charles. John Hessian is out there, picks it up and beat Michael Burns. It's still Hessian. A high ball into the sun. Dennis Carney is all alone. He won't be for long. Brendan Fitzpatrick is there. Sean Healy, Stephen Healy close to the sideline. Kenneth Riley, Henry Honeyman. Henry Honeyman was beaten there. Rory Charles, take it to James Keane. James high up in the air. Harkin is under it, brings it away. But only down to Joe Gorham. Joe looks up, gives the ball out the far side. Down towards Slattery. Gives it in towards Johnny Commons, who slipped as he went for the ball. And Johnny Commons was all alone for a moment. He lost his footing. The ball went harmlessly out over the end line and wide. Eddie Scanlon once again down towards Kenneth Riley. A good catch by Riley, a vital catch in towards Kevin Byrne, who beats Michael Burns. Out towards Healy. Neil Higgins picks the ball up, fists it on towards Rory Charles as Dennis Carney takes down Rory Charles, and the referee will have a word with Dennis for that challenge, a clumsy challenge. Nothing malicious or anything about it, just a clumsy challenge. Johnny Commons floats it in. Harkin out to Henry Honeyman. Henry fisted towards Dennis Kearney, takes it out to Robert O'Connell. Robert fisted into the middle towards Harkin. Cullen, a good ball down towards Morden, but he's beaten by Kevin Byrne. Down to Casey. Casey gets a hand to it but loses it to Joe Gorham. Joe left-footed in, but Stephen Healy, the captain, is there, leading by example. Brings the ball out the far side but loses it. And the referee has given a free in there. Brendan Fitzpatrick, whose father, Billy, is the coach of the Claremorris team. Brendan has this free now to narrow the gap to 5 points. It's a difficult free. It's on the 13-metre line. It's about 10 metres in from the far side, or 15. Brendan kicks it high in. He kicks it over the bar for Brendan's third point of the game, as a substitute comes on for Claremorris. It's Pat Noonan. Pat comes on. Pat Noonan comes on, and off comes Neil Higgins. The ball. Well, it's not Neil Higgins that's off. Neil is after getting that ball. Joe Gorham gives it in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick. He's being challenged, beaten by Robert O'Connell. Robert, a weighted ball in, but it's misjudged there. Vincent Joyce gives it back to Kevin Byrne. Kevin being challenged by Moore. Out to Rory Charles. And Rory, a good ball into Brendan Fitzpatrick. Brendan was pushed on the back, and a free to Claremorris. A free to Claremorris. And Brendan Fitzpatrick now has this chance to narrow the gap down. It's a difficult kick for a left-footed kicker. It's 2-6 to 7 points, just the 5 points in it. Brendan left-footed high. It looks good. It's over the bar. 2-6 to 8 points. Is that big comeback on again today? There's 8 minutes left in the game. Claremorris are edging their way back into this contest, point for point, as they did in the drawing game. There's just the 4 points in it. A vital time now for the men from Claremorris, as Sean Higgins, a low ball out towards Tommy Ward, close to the sideline. Tommy toe to hand, fists it towards Dennis Kearney. Dennis has been challenged there. A high ball in. Down, a point from Higgins and a point from Higgins. Sean Higgins. Certainly Sean Higgins has had a wonderful influence on this Charlestown forward line today. He has orchestrated everything that has been good about their attacks. He's been busy and he's moved around the field. 2-6 to 8 points. Well, there was something there, and that score hasn't gone up on the board. The referee has given a free out. Ball comes down to Dennis Kearney. There was pushing on Michael Burns. And Charlestown in no hurry whatsoever there. No hurry, as Kenneth Riley, 50 metres out, will leave it to John Casey. John Casey in no hurry whatsoever. We got 6 minutes left. Casey, 55 metres out. High ball out this side of the field towards Bourne. Back towards Burns. Burns fisted in towards Alan Bourne. Bourne has got Michael Burns behind him. He wants to use it. Back to Burns. Close to the end line. It's still Michael Burns. He's making his way through. He's been challenged. He's been fouled, and it's a free in. Michael went for the tuck on the defence and looked for a free, and the Claremorris defence had no option but to take him down. He was burrowing his way through, and a great chance to extend the lead to 6 to 8 points. That's Sean Higgins' point earlier on, not allowed. As Michael kicks it left-footed, he kicks it in, he kicks it over the bar. Two 7 to 8 points. And certainly Claremorris haven't seen the same bite as they had in the drawn game. Ball down towards Commons. Neil Higgins being challenged there as Colin Harkin takes the ball away. Down towards Dennis Carney. And certainly if there was a man of the match today, Dennis would be well up at the reckoning. Colin Harkin a shot. Colin Harkin a point. He started, he finished it. Colin Harkin. A wonderful inspirational point from Colin. 2-8 to 8. Ball taken quickly out towards far side of the field toward Noon, down towards James Kane, misjudges the flight of the ball. Henry Honeyman has it, and Henry is in no hurry, gives it into Higgins. Higgins is inside Johnny Morley. He's been fouled. It's another free in, and it just doesn't look like that Charlestown are going to give up this title, this league today. They want this title and they want it badly. It's a perfect day for free takers and good fielding, and we've had some of that from both teams. Some great scores, and we have this free now from Colin Harkin. Colin kicks it. It's over the bar, and that certainly looks like the insurance. Another glorious point from Colin Harkin. Certainly a prospect in the making for the Mayo panel. Well, Coleman Ward, it's been no fault of his that Claremorris are behind by 7 points. Get that ball out there to that man again, Stephen Healy, down towards Casey. He's been challenged, he's been fouled. Free to Casey. And Seamus Barrett very quickly up at the play and in to signal the free, as Paddy Murray goes out to look after the well-being of John and Dr. Davy. While John Casey is back on his feet, he's a bit of cramp there, and Kenny Riley now, he's 40 metres out. Kenny high in, and when things start to go right for you, everything seems to go right for Charlestown at the right time. Kenny Riley floats that one in. He couldn't get a point before from better positions from play, but he floated that one in and floated over the bar. Well, some of the Claremorris crowd are filing out of the pitch there. Ball knocked down from Dennis Carney. A foul there on Alan Morn, and Alan has another free one there for Kenneth Riley. A chance to extend the lead. Kenneth Riley as a substitute comes on for Charlestown. David Tiernan. David Tiernan comes on, and Kenneth Riley floats it in, kicks it wide as Henry Honeyman comes off. As County Secretary Johnny Prenti and Christy Loftus come with this beautiful trophy that looks destined for the men in green from Charlestown. The James Sweeney Memorial Trophy. Ball down towards Dennis Carney, and Dennis rises majestically, takes it. Wins us free, gives it to Henry Honeyman. We're in injury time, and there's no way back today for the men in the sky blue, Claremorris. They didn't look near as sharp or near as eager today as they were in the drawing game. It's Colin Harkin, a man who has played his part in no small way. High in towards Kenneth Riley, but the ball goes wide.
Don't do that. Don't do that, men. Don't do that now. Never mind shouting close to us now. That's enough, so do you. You don't do that kind of thing. You're so funny, man.
A ball from Ward, down towards Vincent Joyce. Vincent high, up in the air. Up towards Halligan, got a hand to it, knocked it away from Neil Higgins, down to Dennis Kearney. My man of the match, Dennis. Back towards Michael Burns, being pushed by Kevin Byrne, but holds on to the ball, fisted into Dennis Kearney. Dennis looks up and then has Tommy Halligan, but the ball goes away from Tommy as James Keane picks it up. High in towards Brendan Fitzpatrick, who's beaten by Robert O'Connell. Out towards Johnny Commons. Johnny, a high ball in towards the centre. It's been picked up by Joe Gorham, and Joe hasn't stopped trying. Joe wanted to take it quickly, but the referee has called back the play, and he wants to have a chat there with Tom Halligan as the Charlestown players down here close to the sideline are so anxious to get on and to cheer off their heroes. 2-10 to 8 points. A high ball up in the air that typifies Claremorris shooting today. Joe Gorham has sent it wide. We have 2 minutes of injury time played, and the man from Achill Island, Eddie Scanlon, now living here in Charlestown and playing with the Charlestown Starfields, kicks this ball out as the referee, Seamus Barrett, blows the final whistle on a wonderful occasion from the Charlestown team. Certainly will make up for the disappointment of 1992 when they were defeated by Knockmore in the county senior final. It certainly is compensation today for their defeat that day, and they show their delight out there. And I think certain players on the Charlestown team stood out today, and none more so than Dennis Kearney. Dennis had a wonderful game at midfield. He was where the action was, and he knew where to put the ball and where the Claremorris strengths and weaknesses were. Sean Higgins, another man there at right half forward. Sean was all over the field, and he certainly caused an awful lot of trouble to the backs on the Claremorris team.
Winter Claremorris agus Cordially. Program promoted this goal is on Garden. I took them take a raw income support to the house team doing you. I want to commiserate with the Claremorris team on their defeat today. Their second half comeback here a fortnight ago proved that the Claremorris club is one of the top clubs in the county. They're 2-1 to play in Division 2. I hope that next year they will come back and prove that they are promoted to Division 1 and play in the senior football with the army. I want to take this opportunity in particular to congratulate Charlestown on their excellent victory. But the regulars are surprising comeback from Claremorris. Today's game is some compensation for defeats in the county senior final last year. Charlestown, obviously on their performance today, have an excellent team. And I think they're going to go on before they're back in the senior final again, looking for victory. So then I'm going to present the Sweden Cup to Stephen Healy, captain of the... It's a great pleasure that I accept this cup on behalf of the Charlestown Senior Club. I'd like to thank a few people in particular who started the backroom team, our selector Paddy Murray, Frank Dean, and that's my medical man. Most of all, our manager John Carney, who has shown great things for the number of grey hairs he has this year are multiplied and tripled in the last 2 weeks. I hope it's all worthwhile, John. Thanks very much for all you've given to the team in the last 2 or 3 years. I'd like to thank the players, not just the players from 1 to 15, but I'd like to thank the 25, 26, 27, wherever it is players around the panel. The hardest job being a player has been a sub, so I'd like to pay tribute to the 13 subs today. The fellas who have trained since last January, if not put in more effort than some of the team members themselves. But that's the way it goes. Only 15 can start. But I think that the 13 subs today have deserved a big round of applause. I'd like to mention 2 players in particular. I'd like to single out Dennis Carney and Tom Connor. 2 players who I think it's fair to say have known more bad times than good times with Charlestown Sarsfields. They've played through the dark days of the late 70s and the early 80s. And if I had my way, it'd be one of them who'd be up receiving this cup today, not me, only a young fella. So that's the way it goes. But I think that I hope that I have the same amount of enthusiasm and dedication when I'm their ages, 39 and 40 respectively. But I'd just like to pay tribute to them lads. They really lifted us in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago when Claremorris made that great comeback. At the final whistle I felt like throwing myself into the nearest hole that was on the field. But fair play to Tommy Collin and Dennis Carney, they lifted us and told us this is only a matter of going out and performing for 60 minutes this day. So I think lads we should give these fellas a good round of applause. Hip hip! I'd just like to thank our supporters. I'd like to wish those well in Claremorris who are still in a coma from the last day awaiting open heart surgery. I wish them a speedy recovery. But seriously, I'd like to thank the supporters who have stuck with us from day one. I think that it's fair to say they have suffered a lot through the last year. But fair play to them, the town has looked a picture in the last 2 weeks. And we'll have a good night in you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, so thanks very much. I think he found it necessary to get my autograph, so I think he should put that over his kitchen. It might be worth a lot of money in a few years. We made a good job. restored my faith in refereeing, and I think it's fair to say he's done a first-class job, so I think he deserves a round of applause. I'd just like to thank Ballyhollis Club for having the pitches such marvellous shape. It's relative at this time of the year. Also, I'd like to thank our sponsors, All Fresh Bakery, our supporters club, who raised a lot of money the last few years for us. And last but not least, I'd like to pay a tribute to a gallant Claremorris team. I think, lads, if it was possible to split the cup and give half to us and half to ye, but these have been two of the toughest games I've ever been involved in as a player. And that's great credit to Claremorris. And I don't think, lads, the real winners today weren't Charlestown, but football itself. Maybe today's game didn't reach the same heights as 2 weeks ago, but I think they have they've done a lot to restore football in Mayo, which has been much maligned. So I'm sure if Claremorris stick with it, that the right men over them, Billy Fitzpatrick and Martin McDermott and a few more. I'm sure if the stick guys will be back here this time next year, and perhaps they'll be accepting this cup. So just like 10 lads, we're giving them 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you very much.
No, but it was getting dangerous though, you know, it was you know.
This is Dolores, she's the best supporter in the club. How are you? We can take our own job and
And with us we have here Eddie. First of all, Eddie Scanlon, congratulations.
Thank you.
on winning this intermediate title today. Eddie, an Ackle man, I'm proud of it, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
You have picked up an intermediate medal here today with Charlestown. How does it feel?
Oh, it's great. I'd be the first Ackle man ever to win an intermediate medal. Ackle got to 2 finals there recently, but they got beaten in both of them, so it's great today to win anyway, especially after we slipped up the last day and let them back into it. We didn't let up today, like we finished off the job well today.
You showed your superiority and you seem to have a bit more hunger. What was it that gave you that hunger today that you hadn't the last day that let slip, or was it overconfidence in the end?
Well, no, I think we just lost concentration more than overconfidence, like, but we trained hard the last 2 weeks and we decided we were going to play for the full 60 minutes today and not just 45 like the last day, so it came right for us today in the end.
Well done, Eddie, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Congrats.
Good luck.
And with us we have here the captain of the victorious Charlestown Sarsfield team, Seamus Healy. Seamus, you've got the James Sweeney Memorial Trophy this day fortnight. We thought you had it let slip, or did you think it yourselves? What is it like today to have this trophy back with you?
Well, it's nice to be able to come back to this day fortnight and finish the job. I thought 2 weeks ago we had blown it, but we played again today for 60 minutes. That was the secret. We were fiercely determined to see out the game today. We knew that if we moved the ball in attack, we'd have the legs on Claremorris, and that's the way it worked out today. We just seemed to have more penetration in attack than Claremorris. We were very dependent on Joe Gorham at full forward. We seemed to have more match winners in attack.
Well, you gave a wonderful speech there, and I think that you must have put in an awful lot of hard work on the training field, because you were very confident with that speech. You must have it written down a couple of times.
I don't as well. We're training very hard since last January. The last 3 or 4 weeks has been very intense training, and we knew that we needed to win this game today because make up our consolation for last year's senior county final, who were pipped to the post by Knockmore. So this team needed to bring a bit of silverware back to Charlestown, and we did it today, and hopefully now we can build on this for next year, make a big impression at senior ranks next year.
Okay, thank you very much,
Stephen. Thank you very much, lads. Thank you.
Well, with us we have here the manager of the victorious Charlestown Sarsfield team, John Carney. John, how does it feel today with the sun shining down on us here?
Well, it feels great at the moment now. we felt very bad a fortnight ago when we let it slip after being 9 points up. We fell back on our laurels. I think we all had won. I thought myself, even on the sideline, that the game was over. But fair play to Claremorris. They never died and they fought back to the last. And if the game had gone on much longer, I think we'd have been on the losing side that day.
Well, certainly, John, you got your act together today. Was there any one thing during the past fortnight that made you say that we're going to take this title, or was it a combined effort? Or?
It was a combined effort. We were very determined to not let ourselves down again, and we were determined to go out and start exactly the same way as we started before, but we were determined to keep our heads up and keep at it this time for the full hour.
Would you agree with me that maybe your brother Dennis today had a very influential part to play in this victory today? I think for me he was the man of the match, which many team managers doesn't like picking out, but for me, looking at it as a neutral, John, what did you think?
Well, I was very proud of all the players. Like Dennis is a strong player, and there was a lot of ball played to him in the middle of the field by the goalkeeper. He had a fair good game throughout, but in the second half a lot of ball was broke off him. They were crowding him out, whereas maybe we slipped up a bit that didn't play more ball to Kenny Riley, who fielded a couple of good balls towards the finish, you know.
That's very true, all right. Well, John, this certainly makes up for all the disappointment last year. And
oh yeah, well, we needed this win very badly today. We needed it probably, if I may say so, worse than Claremorris because of the defeat last year. If we were beaten again today, I think we'd have awful difficulty next year to lift our heads, and as in the senior league now, and it'd be very difficult to get the team going next year again.
You're a very young team, John.
Well, we're a very young team, but we have a few old players.
Out from the couple of the older players,
yeah.
But you always need a bit of experience.
That's true, yeah. A bit of strength down the middle and a bit of experience helps, all right. We have Dennis, probably Tommy Ward, and Tom Collard are probably the older players.
Well, John, where will the celebrations be tonight?
Well, I'd say all over Charlestown. Hopefully, the
whole of Charlestown will be a sea of green.
That's right, yeah, we'll do the best we can.
Many congratulations, John, and enjoy your success.
Thank you very much.
Looking good. I come to Charlestown. I know you. Come on, let's
Thank you.